Rich people of Reddit, what don't they tell you about being rich? It took 3 years of working for rich people to find out their top secret. The future elite of tomorrow aren't actually nepo babies like the media wants you to think they are. I've worked for a lot of rich people and have spent years breaking my back cleaning up after them, especially after they throw the wildest parties with over 100 people. I was just an outsider looking in. To them, I wasn't even a person, just a servant they could boss around. Meanwhile, their kids were wasting their lives away playing video games in their rooms all day or throwing pool parties. All I ever saw were degenerate kids running around spending daddy's money. I couldn't count the amount of times a rich spoiled girl walked through the front door with thousands of shopping bags. I was actually jealous of the easy life they lived. Every day as I got ready for work, I wished I was born rich. I wanted just a sliver of what they had because at this point, what was pocket change for them would instantly change my life. I had no idea how those kids made it as far as they did in life since they had no knowledge of the real world. But then I met my current boss, and his family seemed different right from the start. For one, his kids were reading during their free time. This was actually an anomaly to me since I've had so many bad experiences with other rich kids. I was even thrown off when I noticed that the daughter of my boss had a budget for herself. If she went out, she could only spend $50. I didn't even have that amount of self-control. As for the son of my boss, I expected him to play video games all night and sleep all day, but instead of doing that, he was reading financing books. I didn't know what parallel universe I had walked into, but it was freaking me out. But my biggest shock of this family came when I found out they went to a public school. All the rich people I've worked for have said they could never send their kids off to public school since they pride themselves on being better than the rest of society. They believe they can't interact with poor people because they're dirty. So instead, they drop hundreds of thousands just on elite private schools to make sure their kids get the best education. But the rich family I was currently working for were smarter than the private school kids because when they got home, they actually used their time to do more learning instead of spending time on their phones. I thought I was wrong at first because I saw that the son was using his phone during breakfast and I immediately assumed he was an iPad kid. But he was actually reading an ebook in German. He told me his father learned 5 languages by the time he was 20, so he wanted to follow in his footsteps. He's been teaching himself German, Mandarin, and Spanish ever since he was 12. He's basically fluent in all 3 languages by now, and is actually on track to beating his father's record. As for the daughter, she's really talented. She could easily play the piano, violin, bass, and anything else. She wasn't a prodigy at all. She had learned those skills all on her own. I even found out the reason she has a budget is because she earns her own money. She tutors kids in music lessons and school subjects. Meaning, they didn't have daddy's money like any other rich kid. Their father made them work for anything they wanted, and taught them life skills that other parents weren't teaching their kids. I found out from speaking to the son that they easily multiply the money they earn from doing side jobs. When I asked how, he revealed that both him and his sister invest and trade stocks. I asked if their father was the one teaching them that, but he said their father wanted them to learn everything by themselves. He had a strong mindset that successful people are those who self-study, are true students, and put in their 10,000 hours. His father was so good at many things like music, computer science, and the arts because he was a dedicated learner. After talking with the kid, he showed me that he's been using an investing app to learn. Since elementary school, he has used programs like Coursera to study in his own time and collect certifications, but this is his latest obsession. He grinded the free lessons they gave, skipped the basics, and remarkably within 2 months he made his first profit of $270. He saw that the app gave you free money when you invited people over and learned how to flip that by being the one to show his sister the app in the first place. He said she's been learning how to invest in her school finance class, but wanted a leg up since she felt like she wasn't getting anything useful out of it. I've never seen a wealthy family like this. That's probably why I've stuck around with them for so long. It's my 2nd year, and the son is now using the app to copy top investors like Bill Ackman and Nancy Pelosi. He is literally auto-trading his money, and getting an average rate of return of 16%. They believe in being self-made and it's honestly the best kind of education I've seen. Since working for them, I've realized it's my responsibility to invest in myself. I asked the son if he could give me some pointers from the investing app but he told me, nah, the app has everything you'll need, just start. Edit. Since everyone is asking, the dad made his money running a construction company in the Midwest, and the app the kids use is called Bloom. Learn to invest. Let me know if you are going to download it so I can get a referral bonus.